Hey guys, this is Mark with a Student of Life, and the purpose of this video is to provide some insight or another layer of analysis that is not really discussed among independent journalists and specialists within geopolitics and military and history. Because things are being seen at that level, and that's not exactly my specialty, even though I've seen countless videos to better learn about the war, what's going on, and to be better informed, especially when it comes to knowing, like, I don't want to say who's winning, but where the trajectory of things are happening, what they're currently happening, and where they're going. And all I can do is just take that information and filter it through my brain and my specialty, which revolves around business management. Because at the end of the day, running the country, like the President of the United States, is him and his administration. They're part of the management team, and running a country is a management task. So from that perspective, that requires leadership knowledge, management techniques, operational techniques, and knowledge, management ideology, which is what I'm going to be discussing, which will then, the ideology and the philosophy of what you believe in managerially then gets pushed through in real life through the decisions you make. And so we went to war with Iran for various reasons. One, to decapitate their leadership and hope that they would crumble, to limit their military capabilities, and part of that reasoning is to allow Israel to be the dominant power within the Middle East, with the United States as the overall shield, with the ultimate goal of dominating trade within the region, oil, resources, etc. Just the same old shit of human history. However, the war right now is not going the way the United States thought it would, at least for the administration, because I'm pretty sure the generals have played these war games and realized, like, it's not to our benefit and it's not doable, yet we still did it because the commander-in-chief, the manager, the CEO, made an executive decision and said, let's do this. And this kind of decision making is something that unfortunately has plagued and is plaguing the entire stratosphere of management within the United States. This kind of decision making is a signature U.S. management move for what I call, and what I've termed in my book, at the margin management, which is basically short-term decision making that leads to emergencies that the decision maker doesn't take responsibility or accountability for those shitty decisions. They put the blame and the work on everyone else, hoping that things will work out. And if they don't, then they themselves, the ones that made the decision on this vision that they were not informed on, whether they have narcissistic behavior or personality, whether they have sociopath, like a combination of narcissism and sociopathy, which are the common traits among executives within the United States, and or these decisions, the vision that they have is just a complete fantasy, but it doesn't matter, because they're the ones in that position of power that have control over the resources that still expect a result, even though it doesn't make any sense. And so part of the driving force for at the margin management is to hopefully get short-term gains for shareholders. And this is the foundation of US management. And I'm talking about US corporations, but you even see this behavior with small businesses, like just at the margin behavior. But within corporations, all decisions are made towards the benefit of shareholders, which tends to be a short-term decisions to show that these goals have been accomplished every quarter on the financial statements, to just appease and keep the shareholders happy. And in this case, the shareholders for the administration are the military industrial complex, the oil companies, the Israeli lobby, and the Israeli government. And so the war is not going the way we thought it was going to go. And I think what's important is moving forward, for any analyst that even ever listens to this, is to include the managerial perspective in the decisions being made by the Trump administration under the term of at the margin management, because what we're currently seeing is short-term decisions, at the margin decisions for the hope of results, whether they're informed or not, because it looks like it's not informed. These are not informed decisions, because part of what's happening with the decisions made in the administration is that it is centered and filtered through the decision maker's brain, who is a chronic liar, a mega narcissist, and possibly a sociopath, who has also surrounded himself with similar personality types who all operate the same. There's homogeny among ways of thinking, managing this country, that this president has surrounded himself with, and is just another reason why we're getting the shitty results we're getting in the United States, and specifically for this war. So I think moving forward, when I discuss more of this, because I'm going to create a separate channel called Professor M. I've created my own business, I think the most comprehensive business university that I will be publishing online. It's 17 chapters and over 300 slides, and I'm not sure how much the content will be, but I'm guessing 50 plus hours, and I go over everything business related. Because I've realized that you don't need to go to university to be good at business, even though that's what I did. But I feel like that time could have been shortened down to like 3 months, like maximum. And that will be that's upcoming stuff that I will be releasing in the future. And I will also be going through business breakdowns and case studies and giving analysis for people to enjoy. But this is something I just wanted to share. And I'm hoping as I talk more about this, I can elaborate more on what at the margin is, but it's something that's real, that exists within the United States, within the management class. And the Trump administration is a reflection, a mirror of how management operates within the United States, which is why we keep shooting ourselves in the foot from a business level, and at this point at a governmental level, because we don't think long term, we don't know how to strategize and plan, and we keep pursuing short-term benefits. And I wouldn't be surprised if the administration also participates in I forget what they're called, like short-term trades, because they're influencing the market. So at the margin management, this is something I hope will become a mainstream term within the business world, as people are making decisions and ask the question like, okay, is this an at the margin decision, or is this actually a comprehensive decision that takes into considerations many different consequences? And do we have plans for these, or contingencies for these different consequences? Which again, that can be a reflection as well within like political management. So I hope you enjoy the video. Let me know if you have any comments, and I hope I'm able to do more videos where I can kind of dig deeper into this concept. But it's a very real concept that is a layer within the minds of people within administration that I think analysts need to also consider, like the management philosophy that leads to these decisions. So my name is Mark, from A Student of Life. Thank you for watching, and have a good one. Peace.